Incoming, sir. Location looks to be Central Indiana. Fire up those sirens, Sergeant. Brian K. Morris. He came without warning.
Seconds.
Now comes the part where we throw our heads back and laugh. Ready?
Ready!
Oh, sorry. Anyway, good morning. How the heck are you? Welcome to No Warning, because that's pretty much what you got in preparation for this show. No darned warning whatsoever. Anyway, I'm your host, publisher, editor, writer, and former mortician's assistant, Brian K. Morris. And we hope that you all had a great weekend. We had a pretty good one. We were at the Salem Comic and Toy Vendors Extravaganza. And we had a great time. We had a lot of fun hanging out with Amy and John Hale, Kenny Sills, Charles D. Moissant, all of our peeps, Rick Bradley, happy birthday to Rick Bradley. Be sure to wish Rick Bradley a happy birthday. Let the superstar know you love him. And harass him massively on this day of April Fools. Now, I gotta say, there'll be no April Fools on this show. I don't like April Fools. I really don't. I'm not a big fan of practical jokes for the most part. So, I mean, some of the fake news items get cute occasionally, but for the most part, I got over it at about 5th grade. So anyway, we're going to have some fun. We're going to talk interactively. You type it in the comments. I will read it, unless it's nasty, in which case I'll save it for later. And we will save it up, and I will talk back. You reply back to me in the comments, and we'll have a conversation. We'll be here for 45 minutes or so, long enough for you to crave the attention of Nicholas Tockert, and never mind the furthermore, every Monday, Wednesday, Friday at 10 a.m. Eastern, 9 a.m. Central on the Nicholas Tockert channel. But first, we have business to conduct. This show is not brought to you by anyone. It is brought to you by our Patreon subscribers. Patreon is a monthly subscription service where you can support your favorite creators with an affordable monthly stipend. And we do appreciate these guys and gals so much. We wouldn't be able to do half of what we do if it weren't for these folks, all right? And as their reward for rewarding me, we give them things like a twice weekly blog, and also sneak peeks of works coming up pretty soon. We are going to start the first draft of The Terrors 2. We've already got that finished. It's amazing what a group of bigots getting on your case will do to spur your creativity. But anyway, if you want to join the Rising Tide bandwagon here, please check us out on what we have to offer at www.patreon.com/Brian K. Morris. All one word, all lowercase, all fun, all the time. And we're also brought to you by Jeffrey Hayes and Plasma Fire Graphics, so the look of your book matters to you. When you've written a book, you want the absolute best cover for it. Well, Jeffrey Hayes can not only do a great front cover, he can do a wraparound cover, which means he's going to design stuff for the spine and the back of the cover. It's not going to look like the crap I used to put out when I was the back cover designer. It looks great. And Jeffrey has a wonderful design sense. Plus, he's easy to work with. And when you talk to him, ask him about his creator-friendly pricing, because he does a lot of great things for the indie creator. His stuff just literally, you don't need to pitch it. People look at it and go, I want this book. What does it cost? He can also help you create, he can also create for you, rather, the graphics you'll need to sell your book online, as well as even book trailers, all of indie creator-friendly pricing. Anyway, he's great to work with. He's become a great friend. And if you want to find out what working with Jeffrey is like, you're going to love it. Go to the Facebook page for Plasma Fire Graphics. Look at the samples, because he does a variety of styles, none of which are AI, by the way. He does this completely on his computer, out of his head, his own hands and creativity. And then go over to plasmafiregraphics.com, and then you can contact him directly there. All right, that's Jeffrey Hayes and Plasma Fire Graphics. When the look at your book matters to you, because it definitely matters to your readers. And you'll notice this morning, we are, and also we want to put in a plug. If you haven't watched this already, check out Between Two Bryans. It's a conversation between myself and Brian Rodman every other Tuesday on the Rising Tide channel at 7 p.m. Eastern. And we had an episode last week about AI, and we're not shying away from tough subjects. So please check us out. We've got 3 episodes in the can so far. I think you'll find them interesting. And if you don't, get a checkup from the neck up, because we're fascinating. But anyway, no, Brian's a fantastic guy, and we wouldn't do this for just everyone. So anyway, again, we want to thank Daryl Shaw and his family for putting on the extravaganza in Salem, Illinois last Saturday. It was so cool to hang out with our friends again. And this coming weekend, the 6th and 7th of April, I will be at Eclipse Con. We haven't had an Eclipse Con since the last Eclipse. And we're going to be at the Southern Illinois University Student Center. That's at 1255 Lincoln Drive in Carbondale, Illinois. There is a website. Please find it and go to it, and you'll have the hours of operation. But one of the guests of honor is an old friend of mine, Trevor Von Eden. Trevor Von Eden is a comic book artist extraordinaire. He's drawn Batman, World's Finest Comics, Power Man and Iron Fist, the original Johnson, a whole bunch of great books. And he also was one of the first interviews I did when I worked for Tomorrow's Publications, back issue. A great guy, an incredible talent. Oh, and also he was the first artist on Black Lightning. If you saw the CW show, well, he's the guy who helped bring Black Lightning to life. Youngest African-American artist hired by DC Comics back in the mid-'70s. And he's got a lot of great stories to tell. And he's just a good guy. So please come see him. I'm sure he'll be doing sketches. And we hope you'll come out to see us this weekend. Plus, Cookie will not be with me this weekend, but I will have the extraordinary Sarah as my helper. And Sarah, we've got to talk about arrangements this week, and I've got some good surprises for you. But anyway, please come. You don't have to come see me. Come see Sarah. She's worth it. She is our goth girl and our table babe. And we're going to have a good time this weekend, all right? Thank you to Nathan Bonner and Southern Illinois University Student Council for having us out. And we're just going to have a real good time. And thank you again. I want to thank everyone who helped me on Saturday. I am getting old. I'm getting old I'm getting old with my time. And my knees were not cooperating very much. But thanks to the kindness of my friends, we got my butt in and out of the community center in Salem, Illinois last Saturday, for which I am grateful. But we're talking farewell tour sometime soon for Brian as far as the road. So please buy copies of The Terror's brand new book from Rising Tide Publications. And it's doing well, I'm glad to say. It's still selling very, very well. And that's it. I think that's all there is. And so let's aside from blathering, let's get to your comments. Let's talk to you guys, because nobody cares what I have to say. And first indoors, Grant Lankard, gag-free zone. Yep, so many jokes running through my head. Yeah, I know. I knew when I typed that what I was letting myself in for, Grant, so have at it. And morning for Grant and Carl Witzman. I got here before BKM. Wow, well, that shouldn't be a surprise to you by now, Carl. I'm the one who's usually late for my appointments here. Carl, it's good to see you, my friend. And not the green room. Ha-ha, right? I'm always worried, says Grant Lankard, that BKM will end up not doing a show on the days when I make the effort to be here on time. Well, I can't be here on time, Grant. I don't expect you to be. So anyway, that would have been an epic April Fool's trick. Put the show and not do it while we're sitting there wondering, hey, Yeah. Hey, there's my joke for next year. There we go. And maybe that's why I don't like April Fools. Thank you, Grant. That's you and me both on that one. And everyone beware, Aunt Donna putting up something about changing your clocks an hour forward or something. Oh, God. Just because I don't do the practical jokes doesn't mean I can't appreciate the good ones. And there she is, the lovely Michaela J. Mwah. YouTube made me late. Oh, my goodness. If I was single, that'd be an issue. But anyway, Michaela, we're glad to see you. Check out authormichaelaj.com. Or she's got a brand new website that's coming up soon, if it isn't up already. And if anybody can get it up, that's Michaela. But anyway, check it out because she's got a brand new business. She is actually doing book reviews, and I let her review The Terrors and had some really good insights. She comes up with stuff that you can use in your promotions, and she uses also her expertise as an editor to critique your work and help you do better next time. So it was $25 well spent. So please contact Michaela and get your book to her. She can do a lot of good got a lot of good for you. And also she does novellas, short stories, and graphic novels and single issue comic books. So just letting you know. Me too, Grant, not a fan of those pranks. Yeah, wow, I didn't think I've ever heard the intro for this show. I'm usually late. And Michaela, you're not late. Oh, good. Yeah, you can always count on Brian to talk for 10 minutes. Anyway, actually, I talked for about 5 or 6, but I'm usually late showing up on time. I was trying to get some stuff done before I came on there. And you made it in time to see the awful intro video. The intro video is wonderful, Carl. You did it, buddy. And it's not awful. Thank you, see? And some weird dude made the intro. Grant, a better one is coming, I hope, although it does encapsulate the gist of this program. Oh, dear God, that's terrifying. Michaela Jade says, I was supposed to work today. It was supposed to rain all day. Now the rain is holding off till noon. So does this mean you go in at noon, or does this mean you get the whole day off? That's what I want to know. And yeah, weather prediction is part science, part art, part magic. Yeah. As somebody once wisely said years ago, being a weatherman is the only job where you can be wrong most of the time and still keep your job. You know, I still remember. Now, Carl will remember, and Donna will remember, Mr. Roberts. Our local CBS affiliate in Champaign, Illinois, had a longtime weathercaster named Mr. Roberts, who was one of those guys that was almost always perennially old. And it turned out he was a meteorologist. He taught meteorology at the University of Illinois, and his courses were incredible. They were very accurate. He on the daily stuff, yeah, he was one of the first people. There was a huge oil spill in the Gulf of Mexico back in the 70s, I think it was. And he wrote a treatise on how events like that would affect weather around the globe. And it turned out to be 101% accurate. Now, but he couldn't tell you whether it was going to snow tomorrow or not. There's a classic episode of the nightly news, the local nightly news, where the anchorman Paul Davis, who last I heard was still around up in Chicago, but anyway, he was teasing Mr. Roberts. He said, "Well, last night you predicted partly cloudy weather. Well, this morning I shoveled out 6 inches of partly cloudy for my driveway." Mr. Roberts did not have much of a sense of humor, I'm told. But anyway, that's local TV, my memories of it. And I'm working on my taxes on listen, so it's an exciting day. Yeah, good for you, Grant. Try to throttle back the excitement, will you? And I guess I should get up and get moving. No. Take it easy, girl. You can enjoy a day off every so often, Michaela. Don't get an ulcer. That's right. And Alex Creation, make sure to like. I love how you think. How's Alex Creations today? Good to see you. I haven't seen you since Fowler. I hope you are doing well. Check out that page there if you would. And please like this page. Please share it if you would. And especially since we are not on Facebook for the foreseeable future. Just got tired of them, actually. And they weren't doing us many favors. So if enough people ask, I could go back. But as it is right now, we are going to be YouTube exclusive. So we may share this later to the great unwashable at Facebook, but for now it's ours. But if you want to share this, folks, please feel free. I would love it. And please like, share, and subscribe. It means a lot to me, and it helps me with the algorithms. All right, man. Anyway, it's good to see you here. And yeah, I know, Carl, I deserve a treat now and then. Yes, you do, sweetheart. And whoa, yeah, Alec. And don't worry, I like, okay, Grant, you're off the hook. Thank you. And it's funny because it's not shown me anything yet. I've heard. Oh, I'm glad I'm not doing Facebook today because the first thing I did when I logged on the StreamYard was it told me there were connectivity issues with Facebook. Ha! I win. Everyone saying hello. Everyone saying hello back. And next US Eclipse will be in 2044 or 2045. I better hit this one up just in case. Yeah. I'm not sure I'll make the next one either. I think I'll be doing well to make this one. Anyway, Grant Lankard said, I had a dream where I was reading a magazine and there was an ad with BKM in it. Don't worry, it wasn't Playgirl. Oh man, it wasn't. Man, well, they don't have an Oscar envelope big enough for that sort of thing. But anyway, wow. And was it for his books or was he selling fezzes? He was selling microphones, ideal for YouTubing. Wasn't I selling the pod catheter or the hail pail? Oh, that's surprising. And yeah, that makes sense, says Carl. And Charles F. Millhouse of StreamYard, not StreamYard, Stormgate Press. I got StreamYard on the head this morning. Oh, dear God. Oh, I need more of this. Okay. Good morning. Had a great show this past weekend at HerdCon in Huntington, West Virginia. My next appearance will be at the Apple City Book Fair in Jackson, Ohio this coming Saturday. Yay! Check out stormgatepress.com. Pulp Reality, Major Marjorie, was it Spurs and Six Shooters, all kinds of great stuff coming from the mind of Charles Millhouse. It's good to see you this morning, Charles. Hope you're doing well. Everyone say hello. And there it is. There's that link. MJBooksLLC.com. Check that out. I'm going to bookmark that here. And I'm off all day from the day job and maybe tomorrow too. Wow. Are we expecting rain tomorrow? Holy cats. Wow. And good old Mr. Roberts, he was a local celebrity. I hear he felt like it too. Really? I never ran into him. I think he was off the air by the time I moved to Champaign. I did run into Judy Frazier more than once, though. I know you'll know that name. Who else did I see? Cindy, I can't remember her last name, but she was co-host with Jerry Slave. I met Marta Carrera one time. She did an interview with me for the Dick Tracy movie, and anyway, ooh la la. And I ran and Dan Rowan. I got to see him once. I was in the WCIA studios for an interview. They used to have a late night talk show on Sunday nights, and I was there with the president of the Shambana Comics Club. It's a University of Illinois group. I don't know if they're still around, to be honest. But anyway, I walked through the thing, and there he was, the sports director. And I went, "Hi, Dan, how you doing?" I just walked by him. He's like, "What the hell?" So my days in local broadcasting, and said, I'm not going to criticize weathermen because I sure as hell don't know how to do what they do. I used to work for public broadcasting in Urbana, Illinois, WILL AM FM TV. And we had someone on staff who at that time was the only registered meteorologist in local media. None of the other weathercasters had a degree in meteorology. Only our guy did. And he had as much chance of predicting it wrong as anyone. But he told us what the process was, that he checks with the U.S. Weather Service, which has a history of the weather on a particular date. And then it kind of averages out what's the percentage of what is the most likely to be the weather that day. Like if it's supposedly 70 and sunny 75% of the time on a certain day, then chances are it's going to be 75 degrees and sunny that day. Then you take into account the weather patterns. And he said it is not an easy job and there's a lot of science involved, but it was pretty interesting to hear him talk. And the local weather balloon launch this morning went from Lincoln, Illinois, straight to Indy. Wow, that's a pretty straight line, Carl. Of course, I know we had some pretty strong winds last night. We got a healthy rainstorm here at the compound here, and some people might enjoy a Playgirl pictorial starring BKM. I am not one of them. Well, Grant, you'll come around. You just wait. Nothing personal, BKM. I understand. I'm the different strokes for different folks here. And I heard stories that Mr. Roberts would often return restaurant food back to the kitchen. He considered himself a gourmand. Ooh. Oh, did he now? That's fascinating. I heard he was not a cheerful person. Sorry to say. I know he took on air criticism poorly. Uh, so, which I understand. I understand. Who wants to be picked on all the time? And Carl continues, I think I was on WCIA once for something, probably the Shape Up Your Memory book, but I was on WICD several times with Barb Leach. Why, I haven't heard that name in ages. That gal was gorgeous. And WILL radio once for Memory Book. Oh, cool. Yeah, I did a lot of stuff on, there for, Pam Chrisman and all, and Wendy Carr, who I'm still in touch with on Facebook. She was my supervisor when I was at WILL. Plus, I did a lot of the on-air work for, particularly for Doctor Who. Because I was the only one who knew what Doctor Who was about, because the rest of the staff had no freaking clue. So it was my job every like 3 times a year to explain it to them. But yeah, let's see. I've been on WILL a couple of times. I'd been on WCIA a couple times. I don't think I ever got on WICD for anything. Although I got to meet Keith Page one time. I don't remember what it was, but I met Keith Page. I think he was at a restaurant I was at, and he was going from table to table doing close-up magic. So that, because he was also a professional magician as well as a weatherman. And Playgirl Scrub, Brian, what size lens are we talking about? It's going to have to be wide angle, Charles. Just saying. Unless it's cold outside. And that was back in the day when I was energetic and trying to build up my publishing empire. I wonder whatever happened to that. Yeah, it's like I'm selling cookie. I wish I'd started 20 years earlier. Now, somebody like Charles Milhouse, one of the many numerous multitudes of things that I admire about him, and Molly Daniels is the same way. They started doing independent publishing before print on demand and all of the things that make it easy for us now. They were doing back in the day, and that just astounds me to have that much faith in one's work. Because one of the things that attracted me about publishing back in 2012 was the print on demand idea, where I didn't have to print like 2,000 copies of my book. I could get like 10 or 20 and just be modest about it. And Grant Lankard says Grant Draws Tonight should be interesting. Robert Norton is our guest. He's an interesting guy. Well, so are you, Grant. This means it'll have 2 interesting guys on it. Check it out. What time tonight will that be? Grant, please let us know. Yeah, I had to print and cut my own books or pay a printer for 100 books. Wow. And that's kind of low from what I remember. Although I've got a publisher that at 100 books, he can beat Amazon's prices and do a far better job. And I've been watching his YouTube channel a lot. He is filling the cartoonist kayfabe-shaped hole in my heart. Yeah, I used to hear a lot about cartoonist kayfabe. And I watched a couple episodes, and I was sorely disappointed in it. It wasn't quite what I hoped it would be. Actually, a lot of the comic shows, aside from Comic Book Spectrum every Thursday night at 8 p.m. Eastern, 7 p.m. Central, on from the Desk from a Small Press Publisher channel. That one never disappoints. But I was a little disappointed with cartoonist kayfabe. There were a number of them I was trying to learn to love, and none of them fit the bill for me. I'm just, so I don't watch, and sometimes I will wind up watching some show and being sorely disappointed at the train wreck coming in on it. So anyway, but yeah, that sounds good. We'll check it out. And some of my early stuff is unavailable now. Thank goodness. Yeah. Well, Charles, I think I told you, I know I've told a number of people, I wrote a novel between my freshman and sophomore years of college. I took all summer to do it, and I read the first draft, and it was total dreck without a single redeemable feature in it. And I tell people it was read like it was written by a snotty 20-year-old virgin, which just happened to be what I was. And when I just put it in the closet, and I forgot about it for years until we moved, and I discovered the manuscript, I made sure I tore up the pages and mixed up the shreds, and then threw the shreds of my former novel away in 3 different areas so that it can never be assembled, because I'd rather someone find a sex tape with me and a barnyard animal rather than find this thing. It would have ended me. It really would have. It was bad. It sounds good, Grant. And 9 p.m. Eastern. Excellent, excellent. And speaking of excellent, there he is, Eric Hawkins, the Eric Hawkins. How are you doing? Good morning to you. And the link is on Grant's Facebook page. And rewrite and republish, Charles. That's your back catalog. Don't let him just sit. There we go. There we go. Yeah. Unlike what I could do with my original novel, Charles could like reformat the and revise the old one and make it palatable. Well, I love cartoons, Keefe, but unfortunately it's done for. The one guy is officially canceled. Oh, officially canceled. Oh, I remember hearing about that recently. Eek. He was sending inappropriate DMs to an underage girl. That's right. Yeah, he was a pro artist. I don't want to say his name on here because I don't want to. Okay, we say he was allegedly sending inappropriate DMs to an underage girl. So yeah, that's happened to a couple of guys in the industry. I can say this because he was convicted of Gerard Jones, who wrote just about everything for DC at one point or another. Then he did some stuff at Marvel, and he'd worked for Malibu. He did a wonderful series with Will Jacobs called The Trouble with Girls. It was a spy takeoff. And Lester Girls was his name, and that was a lot of fun. And plus, he wrote one of the best several good histories on comics, including one I love called Men of Mystery, that showed the criminal backgrounds of the people that organized the comics back in the Golden Age. And unfortunately, he was doing the same thing as Jared from Subway, and he spent some time in the pokey for it. I shouldn't call it a pokey, but he spent many years in prison. I think he was released about 2 or 3 years ago. I don't expect him to resurface anytime soon. Anyway, Carl Witzman continues, I learned from the big publisher to list my previous books. I don't know what took me so long to figure it out. It takes time for us to get around to these things. And, I used to publish stuff back in the 80s and 90s, and yet I had to be reminded of a lot of what I had forgotten by these people, and I'm grateful they took the time to do it. The Eric Hawkins, get it right, people. And the other guy, the non-creepy one, went to the same comic book store growing up as me, and I think that really inspired me to start doing Beowulf. Well, then that's a good thing, Grant. That's cool. And Carl Winston says, I revised an old sci-fi story and will publish it next year. Excellent. I just need to work on the cover. He adds old 1980s sci-fi, but I don't care. It's humorous, too. We need more good humorous sci-fi. And cool, Grant. I agree with Carl. And already have plans to rewrite my first novel, Carl. As a matter of fact, my origin trilogy is a prequel to my original novel, The Dark Frontier Saga, Keepers of the Past. Very cool. Grant Lanker continues, Todd McFarlane said that when he found out that John Byrne was from Canada, it made being a comic book artist seem doable. It's the same way when I found out that Jim Rugg went to the same comic shop. Well, that's awesome. Yeah, Jim Rugg's a good talent there. Actually, the other guy's a good talent. It was just a shame about his off-hours proclivities. But, when I worked the Book Nook in Champaign, Illinois, it was the first full-service comic shop in East Central Illinois. And one of my clients was Timothy Bradstreet. If you ever see like the old White Wolf stuff for Vampire or most of the better Punisher posters and covers from about 15, 20 years ago, he drew most of those. Wonderful guy. And I remember one year, he was still in high school. I think he was a senior in high school. And he would drive over from Bloomington, Illinois. And one time, he brought his art samples with him just prior to the old Chicago Comic-Con before Wizard World bought it. And he opened the portfolio and said, Brian, do you think I should show this to anyone up there? And I'm like, dude, I will drive you up there myself to show your portfolio off. And he wound up showing it to people like Dick Giordano, who gave him some good advice. And not long afterwards, he wound up working with Tim Truman on some stuff. And Tim Truman did one of my favorite comics ever, Grimjack. I love that book. And good, Charles. Yeah, seriously, that's good news, Charles. And I don't know if you've ever been to the house in Cleveland where Superman is created, but it's very inspirational because it's just a normal house. It makes you realize that Siegel and Schuster were just ordinary guys who came up with an amazing idea. I have never been there, Grant. I passed through Cleveland, or actually go around Cleveland, on my way to see my parents in Buffalo, or my in-laws in Buffalo, New York. I think of them as parents now. I'm that close. And anybody can have an idea that takes the world by storm. And yeah, and that should be an inspiration to all of us. That it's that moment of inspiration, and when all the stars align, and next thing you know, you have a hit on your hands. And Siegel and Schuster sure proved that. So yeah, that sort of thing is inspirational. It really is, that any one of us can do it, which is why I keep promoting the idea of self-publication. It's being published by other people is well and good, but I think it makes you appreciate the control you have over your product as a self-publisher. Okay, where you have total control over the finished product. Now you still hire people to make the magic happen, but otherwise, you are where the buck stops, which is good sometimes, and sometimes it's not. So we are caught up with the comments right now. So having a slow morning here. There we go. And Eric Hawkins says the strangest thing happened Saturday. A guy pulled in my driveway behind me and said, "Are you the guy that does comics?" Oh my goodness. Really? Tell us more. Was he stalking you? Was he an Oz devotee? Oh, I'm glad we mentioned that. And I agree with Carl. That's pretty random, Eric. Yeah, that is. The fact that it may not be random is even scarier. Where was I? Oh, it was at NerdCon in Robinson 2 weekends ago. I had a couple of people ask me, where's the next graphic novel? Because I had the hardcover, and they were asking me, where's the next graphic novel of the Zombie from World of Oz? And I said, it's coming soon. Just keep an eye out. And Charles Millhouse says, being self-published is the best decision I ever made. I like making my own way and making the big publishing decisions. I'm with you on that. And I also tell people it's a good way if you do want to work for other people. That's my calling card. People see that you know how to do the work. And if you do it well enough, they want to tap into your mojo. And that's nothing wrong with that. And I learned from those publishers. And, I got into getting published by others so much that this was 4.5 years before I published The Terrors. I didn't realize it because I was so busy. But anyway, Grant Lankert says, maybe people are sleeping in today. Maybe they got drunk yesterday. Is drinking on Easter a thing? If not, it should be. And what are you working on these days now that The Terrors is done? Well, I have this wonderful partner that I work with who's inspired me to start on Volcana 2. This week, I'm finishing up the research I need to do for a story in an anthology I'm supposedly in. And then I've got a couple other things to get in order and get some pitches out. And that's pretty much what I'm doing. Now, I know what Michaela is up to. Now, Michaela, do you wish to reveal what you are up to? And he wanted help making comics because he has some ideas. Excellent. Very cool. I take it they were valid. They sounded good. And Doc Saga, yes, Doc Saga. That's one of my projects I want to get done this year because you guys wrote such great stories. And I want to publicly thank everyone that submitted a story to Doc Saga. You've been so patient with me. God bless you. Seriously, go for it. I usually do, Michaela, and you should know. And I had a Bloody Mary on Easter and seemed appropriate. Oh, God, I'm not reading the rest of that. Oh, does that mean your drink came back on you? Was that what you're saying? I'm always up to something. Yes, you are, my dear. Yes, you are. And so am I usually. And I'll be working on that today. So it'll be fun. And then don't forget, 1 week from today is the eclipse, the day that I am probably not leaving the house. And Cookie has to go to work. Now, I'd offered to drive her into work next week because next week is like mandatory overtime. She's getting a little overtime now, and she's expensive now, I like to say. But anyway, and Michaela is mocking Grant with her laughter. But yeah, yeah, she's getting some overtime now. I guess you have to be there at the case thing before you get overtime. That goes to the older employees. But I already scouted out several escape routes from town because I remember what the traffic was like during the last eclipse. I had gone to the first Eclipse Con in Carbondale, Illinois, at the Student Center, like where I'll be this Friday and Saturday with Sarah and Trevor Von Eaton and all kinds of cool people. But the trip home was fun because I remember driving up I-57 out of Marion, and there were like me and two other cars in the northbound lanes, and this solid ribbon of white lights extending as far up north as the eye could see, moving very slowly to the south. And I left I-57 at Champaign. I remember I was gonna leave at I-70 and head into Terre Haute. And I thought, no, I want to see how far this goes. And it had gone up to Champaign and beyond, and I wasn't going to like drive. I was tempted for a moment to drive up to Rantoul and see how far it went, but no, cooler head prevailed. So anyway, Carl Witzman says, as I have aged, my goals for writing have changed. It's less for money and more for getting my name out there. Yeah, I'm pretty much the same way. I mean, I'd like to have that book that sells 1 million copies so that Cookie can come home. I would like that, but otherwise, I'm like you. I'm content to just get my name out there, get a little kudos for what I do, a little pat on the back. Oh, and this weekend I'm in Eclipse Con and the Windy City Pulp and Paper Convention. The Pulp Show is up there. Oh man, I want to be up there so bad, but I agreed to be at the Egyptian thing, the Eclipse Con. So it's all right. Anyway, Michaela says, I have 1 date nights in Roguestone out. Yes, I'm working on the second. There'll be a third. Then the next Warrior book is due out in December. Book reviews are coming in hard and fast, just how we like it. Well, I'm glad you and not at all gentle, I'm sure. But anyway, and hello, consider Nick Tucker. I don't know who you're talking to, but hello to you, my friend. And check out again. Like I said earlier in the show, never mind the furthermore. One day, and today's that day. Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays at 10 a.m. Eastern, 9 a.m. Central on Nicholas Tucker's channel because he's awesome. And also don't forget the Historical Fencing Guild channel on Friday nights at 8 p.m. because it's great. And my next book to be read is The Terrors. Well, Carl, I look forward to hearing what you have to say about that. I really, in all sincerity, I really do. And I finished League of Cryptids #2 on Saturday and sent to my proofreader. Excellent. And everyone says, Nick. Anyway, so that's what we got going here. Does anyone else have anything they would like to? Oh, yes, what they want to talk about. Grant does. I finished the script to the Beowulf prequel about a week ago. I got notes back from my editor this weekend. I've been working on that. I should be able to start on art next week. Now, is this going to be a one-shot, or is this a 6-issue series like the previous one, Inquiring Minds, etc.? Excellent. That is excellent. Yeah, and I got the first draft of The Terrors 2 done. Like I said, it's amazing how the peevishness of bigots can inspire one to write. It's quite gratifying. So anyway, yeah, we've got stuff to do today. Not the least of which is writing, but and we'll pick. Two 40-page issues. Excellent. That is excellent. That is so cool. Excellent. So anyway, and I am up to my nose in con prep. Is that okay? It's a good thing I know what that is. Which con is this, Nick? And when and where is this thing? He said, # always promote your friends. So anyway, yeah, I think I'm pretty much ready to go. Although I still have to I have to pack my suitcase. That's the only thing I know I have to do, and I may get a couple of extra boxes into the van. But anyway, we're looking forward to a good time, and it'll be great to see Trevor Von Eaton again. I really like the guy. And let's see, here we go. Molly Daniels, we were mentioning you, darling. How are you? Mwah! Popping in to let you know I'm about to get tortured at the eye doctor. We'll catch you on the rerun. Molly, be careful up there, and don't let them turn you into a Cyclops. I love you, Molly. You're wonderful. And The Lost Adventures of Captain Hawkland Volume 2 release date is May 7th of this year. Contributor copies will ship soon. Yes, looking forward to that. That's excellent. And April 13th, 2024, 10 a.m. to 10 p.m. in Schererville, Indiana. Oh, cool. Up at 500 East Joliet Street. That's going to be fun. That's going to be fun. It's 13. I don't know if I'm doing anything. That'd be cool. And RegionCon 2024. Very cool. There is going to be a convention in Effingham, Illinois. Nick, I don't know if you're interested. It's called EffingCon. And I know the guy in charge of it. And I've got a table there. I just thought I'd try it for once. It's one of the few first time for me shows that I'm doing. So I'm not, after last weekend, I don't know how keen I am to like add more dates to my calendar. And for you to attend, $10 a game. Oh, that's pretty fair. That's pretty fair. All right. Thank you. Thank you, Nick. Excellent. Sounds like fun. RegionCon 2024. Yeah, my knees, particularly my left one, was acting up last weekend. And again, I want to thank everyone that helped me get in and out of the building. That was a torture. But it's teaching Brian that he's got a shelf life. And he's reaching the end of his as far as touring goes. I mean, I think I will probably stop doing as many shows once I turn 70. That will be the latest year for my farewell tour. And then I may do like 2 or 3 shows a year, but otherwise I'm going to be concentrating on online sales. And send me info on EffingCon. Yes, I will. I can do that right after the show. In fact, I've got it right here. It's November 1st and 2nd in at the Village Square Mall in Effingham, Illinois. So I'll send you some information on it. I'll send you the contact name for the guy I had. And Woot, my proof copy of Date Nights in Rogue Zone has shipped. Excellent, excellent. That's the newest publication from Michaela Jade. Look out for it. And yeah, but you have 20 years till you're 70. Oh God, Nick, if only. I love you for that, but oh, if only. No, we make no bones about it. We are aged. I turned 68 last month, almost a month ago. And could you post the EffingCon stuff on Facebook? Yeah. Or I'll include you into the message that I send Nick. How does that sound? And it's a 2-day show, like I said, and it's going to be at the place. Well, none of you guys. Well, no, Carl and Donna were there. It's the same place we had SilCon last year. Okay. So Carl and Donna know where that is. And glad to, Carl. Glad to. And Donna Dulles, morning, all getting ready for breakfast. Ted offered on his day off. You never turned down Pancake House. Cool. Now, is this one of the original pancake houses? Because my wife used to work for one in the Champaign area. Dawn, says Carl. Just like that, he says it too. But she used to work for the original Pancake House, which was kind of like a very loosely organized franchise, where it's kind of fun. The owner had Cookie and me flown out to the home office in Oregon. Yeah, it's in Oregon, and Portland, Oregon. That was it, and it was interesting because they served no soft drinks there. You got milk and coffee and tea and water, and that was it. They did not serve any soft drinks. So anyway, let's see. And so no Dawn on Never Mind the Furthermore. Oh well. And Ted seems like a good guy. Definitely. And I actually do like say it like that. I love Dawn. Don't we all, or we kill for the chance to. And yep, original Pancake House. Our friend is the GM. Oh yeah, excellent. The one in Champaign is excellent too. If you're ever over there, over on West Springfield by Country Fair Shopping Center. And Dawn says hello back, and says Carl. So anyway, looking at the time, we are about at 45 minutes, and I think that's time to maybe call this a day, especially since I'm feeling a nap coming on. And I've got to get that message to Carl and Nick. But anyway, folks, thank you for being here. Thank you all for being here. Appreciate your comments. Appreciate your time. And close the wrong window there. There we go. And he is a good guy. Oops, we are off. We are off. All right, boy. We started the day being off. Anyway, folks, thank you for being here. Thank you. We appreciate your patronage here every Monday at 9 when I deign to show up for the usual you know what. And we just do what we do here.
How dare you?
Yeah, I know, Greta, shut up. Anyway, Stan, thanks for nothing. Okay, yeah, okay, thanks. Anyway, anyway, we are going to wrap this up after these comments here. Let's see here. Love you, BKM. Have a good one. Grant, love you too, brother. Well, you have a great Grant draws tonight, and everybody check that man out. He has got some good comics coming out. Just some time for a coffee trip before never mind further. Have a great day, Brian, and everyone. You too, Carl. Much love to you and Donna. Mwah. And Charles F. Millhouse says, everyone have a productive day. See you in the funny papers. You bet you will, my friend. Have a good one too. And for once, I agree with Stanley. Yes. And I'm sure it's not enough said, right? Anyway, folks, we are going to be winding this down. Now it shows you how badly we need to. But we want to let you know we were brought to you by our Patreon supporters. Patreon is a monthly subscription service where you can support your favorite creators with an affordable monthly stipend. And these wonderful people believe in the mission of the Rising Tide, we're glad to say, and are helping us do everything we can to spread the word about it. And in turn, many of them have their own Patreon pages that deserve your support. But mine, for $1 a month, you'll get my twice weekly blog. And also, if you go $5 or more, you're going to get to read the first draft of The Terrors 2, the sequel. So if you're interested in that, please sign up at www.patreon.com/Brian K. Morris. Plus, we were also brought to you by Jeffrey Hayes and Plasma Fire Graphics. And look, your book matters to you because it definitely matters to your readers. If you want a great cover and great graphics to promote it on the interwebs, then you check out Jeffrey Hayes' work, who doesn't use AI, by the way. He's a great artist, and he does it all on his own. Check out his work on the Plasma Fire Graphics Facebook page, and then on the plasmafiregraphics.com web page. Yes, we gotta go. And see some great samples, and ask him there about his indie creator-friendly pricing. You'll be glad you did. He's great to work with, and the results speak for themselves. As Plasma Fire Graphics, when the look of your book matters to you, because it definitely matters to your readers. One more comment here, and then see ya, dudes. We'll see you, dude. You have a great one. Give Angie a hug from us, okay? And anyway, that will do it, folks. And don't forget, every other Tuesday, not this Tuesday, but a week from tomorrow, will be Between Two Brians, our bi-weekly talk show where you are involved. And the first 3 episodes went really well. We hope you will join us for number 4, because it's going to be a lot of fun. We will tell you that now. Anyway, this weekend I will be at the Eclipse Con at the Southern Illinois University Student Center at 1255 Lincoln Drive in Carbondale, Illinois. The 6th and 7th, Saturday and Sunday. And we're going to, the special guest will be Trevor Von Eden, the original artist on Black Lightning, also great creations such as the original Johnson, Power Man and Iron Fist, Batman and the Outsiders, Thriller, all kinds of great books. And he will be there signing books, signing autographs, and just being awesome. So check him out because he is awesome. We love him. And we love you. Thank you for being here this morning. Thank you for being here despite the rain and everything outside. We hope you have a great day. We'll join you next week for the Eclipse edition of this show, hopefully. And we hope we'll see you this weekend in Carbondale. And we hope that you all have a fantastic week and that maybe you can make it special for somebody else by just smiling at strangers, because that might be just what they need to have that very day, that very moment. And you never know, you may get one in return, all right? And maybe somebody will pull in your driveway behind you like with Eric Hawkins. But anyway, no. Anyway, folks, we will see you next Monday. Thank you for showing up here. We appreciate your patronage as always. And as always, stay smart, stay safe, wash your hands, and never apologize for being awesome. Have a great week, everyone. We'll see you at Eclipse Con in Carbondale, Illinois on Saturday and Sunday with Sarah and Trevor Von Eden and me. And we hope you have a good week. Take care, everyone. Take care and be good.